Unless the President and Congress act soon, the Pentagon is going to experience some serious cuts in funding. Some people have even suggested that these cuts could be dangerous if they come to fruition. Here to talk about it is editorial board member Matt Kaminski. Welcome, Matt.
Good to be here.
So this process of that Congress and the President have agreed to is known as sequestration. How exactly does it work, Matt?
Basically, under last year's Budget Control Act, if the President and Congress do not agree to on a $1.2 trillion worth of savings, an automatic axe will come down January 2nd. It'll cut $500 billion from defense, and it'll cut $500 billion from non-discretionary, non-defense, discretionary spending and entitlements.
Okay, now some Democrats say because it does what you just described, it's hitting everyone
Down
equally.
the line, that's right.
And we shouldn't make any exceptions for the Defense Department. What's wrong with that argument?
Well, the problem with that argument is twofold. One, defense has already taken the most cuts of any federal agency. It's actually the only part of the federal government that President Obama has trimmed back in any significant way. Second thing is defense only accounts for 1/5 of the federal budgets, but they're asked to take half the cuts.
Okay. Well, Matt, I mean, as you know, you've seen the stats. We spend a lot of money in this country on defense. We spend more on defense than every other country in the world spends. Are you saying there's no efficiencies to be found there? There's no fat to trim in our Defense Department?
There's certainly fat to trim in defense, and that's what we've been doing for the last few years. I mean, they've cut out about $350 billion worth of weapons programs. Some of them are wasteful, but some of them are actually necessary. We found almost $500 billion in savings over the next 10 years already in the January, starting with this 2013 defense budget that was introduced earlier this year. The problem with sequestration is that it would just go across the board. It would be automatic. And it's not Republicans who are saying this would be a disaster. It is President Obama's Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta. It is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Martin Dempsey, who's saying that it would actually make the likelihood of war higher in the world because America will be a weaker power. Yes, we do spend more than anyone else, but we also have a unique position in the world. We are the only superpower. We have guaranteed relative security and relative prosperity in the world for the last 60 years.
Wow, that's well, you mentioned President Obama there. So clearly the White House is aware of these criticisms of sequestration. What explains the President's behavior then?
It's hard to understand. I mean, obviously he's very busy on the campaign trail and has been since last summer. And he has really not talked about this at all in any length. The White House claims that it's really up to Congress, which is, I mean, one, it's an abdication of political responsibility because this will not be settled without presidential leadership. The White House has not put forward any proposal to either avert or to soften the blow of this to the Pentagon, and it's even declined to tell the Congress, which is asked, of what would happen if sequestration would go through. What would you cut exactly, and in what order?